Welcome into Live Above the Chai, the Roll Jays podcast as Creighton leads Providence 43-34 at halftime. Jimmie Allen, Alex Drake at the CHI Health Center. That slacker Casey Matthews is working from home tonight. Creighton off to a great start. We've got a lot of highlights to get to, and maybe none more magical than Fedor Zugic's trick shot, guys. We've been waiting to see him kind of unleashed on the offensive side of the ball all season. He drives down to the lane. Listen, he gets the rim really quickly, and that's something I think we're going to see a lot going forward this season. He throws one up, it hits the heavens, then falls, hits the top of the backboard. It goes in. Alex, what did you make of the shot?
Man, I don't think you can take too much from it. Like, that is...
Hey, you look cool. It's making Sports Center.
Yeah, I mean, you love it, right? But, like, I don't expect him to go do 5 more of those. Like, it's just cool to see, but I want to see more. I want to see him do more things to impact the game at a high level regularly.
It was pretty clear. It's pretty clear he doesn't quite know the offense. So there's not many plays where Mac's going to draw up for about 15 dribbles for Fedor and just sort of get into the lane and take a trick shot to score. I can promise you that. But good for him. But
he's innovative, Casey's innovative.
Yeah. I know we're all looking for
Casey,
positives.
what I did like from it was they were denying him coming high, and he actually he had a couple of plays with some really good back cuts that you and I have both said we want to see a little bit more of this year.
Yeah. I think I'm still more comfortable with my man Steven with the ball in his hand. Definitely some good stuff from Fedor. I think he also had 2 rebounds and assists. So hopefully he gets a little bit more burn in the second half. And I mean, listen, this isn't a very good team we're playing tonight. Just bottom line, it's a game where at home we should be able to put them away and hopefully get some more minutes for guys like Fedor tonight.
One thing that I think Mac will draw up a lot here in the second half and probably for the rest of the season is flip-ups to Ryan Kalkbrenner. They've done it a ton tonight and had a ton of success with it right now. The Jays operating at a high level inside the paint. They've got 20 points in the paint, and 10 of them are on rim runs to Ryan Kalkbrenner. Casey, that's something we've been talking a lot this entire season that really hasn't been effective. Passing lanes have been clogged. They haven't been able to get the ball into number 11. It's working at a high velocity tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of back to what I said a second ago, like this is a team where we should be able to take advantage of them on the offensive end. And, I think what you're really seeing, though, is Steven and Kalk are really in sync, and they know where each other is. Steven's at a point now where he just knows he can just throw it up. It's really where I hope Jimmie can get to, because I think Jimmie is really good with the ball in his hand. He can actually go off ball screens fine. It's when he tries to make that pass where I feel like that's where he's still limited. He's got to get to a point, too, where he can just throw it up there. Let the big fella go get it. I mean, how many times did we see that years ago when we had Marcus and Christian, right, where they got in such a good sync and good rhythm where they just knew where each other was, just throw the ball up, and it really helps when you got a guy that can shoot off the dribble like Steven. You saw the one hezzy, and then he ended up throwing the pass off of it. When you have both skill sets, it makes this offense really, really hard to guard.
Yeah, and one thing I loved early on was they were getting Ryan post touches and letting him go back to the basket. He didn't yield a ton of results early, but it sucked that defense in, and it got Steven open for some early threes, and it just feels like a complete offense so far tonight.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that's been hitting on a high note too. Is Stephen Ashworth struggling? He was 1 of 15 in his last 3-point attempts. Tonight, 3 of 6, and a lot of that, Alex, I think is to your point. They've been really taking those point runners off the line and sucking him inside. Not only with Ryan Kalkbrenner, Fred King was doing a really good job holding his own down low as well, and I think that's opened up the shooting also.
Yeah, I mean, I think Steven, really, I don't think it's like a stretch to say this at all, but like Steven's the best shooter off the dribble we've had since Marcus Zagorowski. And I think when you have that threat in your offense, it just opens up so many other things. And when you can stick a couple shooters in the corner to where you kind of you make that help guy hesitate to come over to Kalkbrenner, and that's really what this offense is deadly. Anytime you can put the defense in a situation where they have to make a decision, where it's pick your poison, really, that's where Coach Mack shines, because he knows how to take advantage of that, and he knows how to get guys the shots that we need to get in this offense, and it's just another take what you have on the court, but also knowing you got the genius on the bench. Like sometimes it's hard to match up with that.
Yeah. Casey, what do you make of the couple of runs Providence made to get back in this game when they had a chance to kind of put it away early?
Yeah, the Friars have had 2 6-0 runs.
Yeah, got to guard the ball, guys. I mean, I think that's where I really saw it was just breakdowns, guarding the basketball. You know, there were a couple tough finishes over Kalkbrenner, but whenever we had a hard time keeping the ball in front of us, letting guys get into the lane, and then we're in rotations. You saw the one where Kalkbrenner had to help, and then ended up with the big man got the layup because he didn't get back in time. There's just, and a lot of that is just situational. I mean, not it's positional. I mean, to where you have to be in help, even if the ball's on the opposite side of the court. And I've noticed that a lot with Fedor, with Mason. They're so hugged up on their guy on the opposite side of the court. You've got to be off that ball midline to where you discourage the ball handler to even try to get in the lane and make a play. So I'd like to see us guard the ball a little bit better, be in better help side. But overall, guys, this is a team that we need to put away. We need, especially at home.
Yeah, 30-point win really goes a long way in the metrics too. So if you could stretch that, it really helps your metrics for March.
Absolutely, and just gets guys some minutes. I'd love to see Fedor get some more minutes. I'd like to see Kalkbrenner not play.
So. Speaking of that, I mean, for the first time in 4 games tonight, we get a chance to see not only Shane Thomas, but also it looked like for a minute there we were probably going to see
Ty
Davis, who came over to the scorer's bench, but there wasn't a timeout situation. So I expect to see him in the second half, and he was shooting in warm-ups with Stephen Ashworth and looked like he was moving and feeling a lot better as well. So it's going to be great to see a bunch of young guys get some opportunities here. Creighton, we got to do first, Jimmy. But I do believe we are the superior team and should be able to wear this team out and put them away in the second half. So I totally agree with you, but we got to do our part. Yeah, Creighton a 9.5-point favorite tonight. They currently lead by that margin right now by 9 points. And this is the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. Casey, if we're talking about keys to the second half, what do you want to see Creighton do? Not only to win, obviously, but to get to what we were just talking about and have that put-away method. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be defensive intensity. Like, offensively, it's pretty much shown that we're going to be able to get what we want, get the shots that we want. I think we got to just not settle, continue to take great shots. But defensively, we just have to show intensity, play hard, be in the right positions, and just have some pride in guarding the ball. And I think if we could do those things, we should win this game. I don't want to say easily, but we should have a nice margin of victory and let some of these young guys get some minutes.
Alex, I definitely want to see young guys get minutes, and I think the way you get there is somebody else in that starting five has. I want to see them get going. I want to see Jimmie get going, or Jason Green. Somebody else has got to get going too, because so far it's been the Ryan Kalkbrenner, Stephen Ashworth show. And like Casey's point, this is a team that we should be able to put away. It should also be a team where somebody else can show out a little bit. Yeah, right now, Ryan Kalkbrenner, 15 points. Stephen Ashford, 13 points. Only one other J with multiple buckets made tonight, and that's Jimmie Allen, and he only has 4 points. So that was my key to the game, is get somebody else involved, whether it be Jackson McAndrew, whether it be Jason Green. You've got to find a way to get, not only just for tonight, for the rest of the season, more rhythm and get more guys experience in big-time shot situations. I mean, obviously, like we've been talking about, the Jays are almost double-digit favorites tonight, but this is what the Big East feel is going to be for the remainder of the season. And yeah, it's Providence tonight. You got a couple big games coming up, and you may need some of those guys to be able to go, whether it be Stephen Ashworth being sick. He talked about with John Bishop after the Butler game about, you know, he kind of rushed his ankle back, and he's still seeing some of the residual effects of that as well. So, like, not seeing Ty Davis for 4 games is a little concerning. I mean, he's out on the court right now and just ripped off his warm-ups. So, I mean, it looks like he's going to be able – he should be readily available to play in the second half. I'd love to see number 9 get some touches. This has been the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. Don't forget, you can donate to the Bird Club Creighton's NIL Collective by scanning the QR code in the top right corner of your screen. All proceeds will go to benefit your favorite Creighton athletes as well as benefit this podcast as well. Creighton leads 43-34 at halftime. Alex Drake and I will be back on 1620 The Zone. Immediately following the game, we'll catch up with Creighton assistant coach Steve Murfeld. He'll be up here in the booth with us. Hopefully you can join us. We'll take your phone calls as well. We'll also be back tomorrow recapping this entire game and taking a look at the rest of the schedule for Creighton. For Alex, for Casey, I've been Jimmy. Go Jays.
Roll Jays, guys.